Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Motorcycle Rewind, and today we're back with the 1976 Cushman Truckster, and we got big news. So last night, you guys saw, and if you saw the last video, I finished up. The exhaust valve was still a little sticky. I had to edit the video to put it up, and finished editing the video, and about 12:30 at night, I decided to walk out here and give this guy another go at the old stuck piston. And let me show you what it did for us. Remember, it's the one on the left that was sticking. Not sticking anymore. How you like me now? Working like it should. That's awesome. Now we're just one step closer to getting this sucker running, you know, and it's almost there. So we'll button up the top end. We'll maybe turn it over a bit and see if we have some compression. We'll look to see about ordering a carburetor. You get a carburetor because remember, this one, no bueno. So we'll do that, and then once we get this starter in a few more days, we should be able to see if this sucker runs. I'm excited. And also last night when I came out here in the middle of the night, I decided to do some caveman body work. This guy was kind of bent up like this down. We kind of leveled it out a little bit more. We straightened the fender up a bit. I didn't do any banging because it was 1 o'clock in the morning. But today we're going to do some caveman body work to see if we can just get it a little straighter than what it is and start to figure out what do we need to do to get this side up, this side back where it needs to be, and put an ignition in there, battery in the back, well, jump box, and see if we get power to this guy, spark plug. We'll start checking the wiring. Ideally, see if we get power to the headlight, see if we can start getting some stuff in where it needs to be. It's exciting. You fix the first thing so you get to figure out what you get to fix next. That's the game, so let's play it. So one thing I want to do just while we're here, this hinge is stuck, so I want to start putting some juice on it and see if I can start loosening it up. So I think I'm going to need to go get some more of this. We'll let it soak and then we'll come back to it and gradually start seeing if we can make that hinge move without ripping it off. Let's go ahead and pull off this ignition switch and see if we can wire in the new one. Okay, here's the new switch and the old switch. They are exactly the same. They're both auto parts store specials. So I'm just gonna go ahead and replace the wires one at a time and go from there. GoPro, stop recording. Okay, let's go ahead and put this switch in now and screw it in. Got the key in. Let's hook a battery up, see if we have any fire. Okay, so I have the battery hooked up. Jump box. Let me turn that on and let's see if we get some power. Let's turn the key on. Oh, key is already on. Let's turn the key on and let's got this test light. Let's see what we come up with. Okay, so it looks like we get some power. Looks like it's running from there, which is good, to here. That should be just straight from my battery. That is not ignition. That should not change. That's coming straight from the battery to there. Now let's see if we're coming out. I got a bunch of stuff that is not plugged in or maybe plugged in. Let's see. Let's keep looking. Listen to this. Turn the key. Solenoid's working. We made a new one, but we don't have a battery. But that's awesome. So far we have it coming from the battery all the way back up to the key to the solenoid. Let's pull off this points cover right here and see if we get any power to the points. Okay, so again, this thing has been neglected forever. It sat in somebody's yard for the longest time. Then the guy that I met found it, and we've got battery box, got a new switch, we got power to our starter, we know that. And then keep an eye, all I'm going to do is open and close these points. Keep an eye on that spark right there. This sucker's going to run. I got a carburetor coming in today. If we can figure out a way to turn this engine fast enough, it may make some noise. This is super exciting. We got lights. I had to replace the switch because it's stuck no good. I'll show you what I did. We went ahead and just put a rocker switch in right here. And now, key off, I don't get anything. Key on, now I get headlights. And my dimmer switch over there does work, so it'll turn it on and off. I just got to check the bulb. I don't think the low beam, or one of the beams doesn't work, so. But we're getting closer. We've got lights. I don't know if we have lights in the back. Let's check. We only have this one, and I don't think it's all there. No, I think we're missing some pieces here. So let me put another bulb in and see if it works. Put a new bulb in it. We got tail light. This thing just keeps getting better and better and better. Let's go ahead and shut this off. That's awesome. Okay guys, we're gonna start doing some body work. The main tool we're gonna use is this guy. And if we run into problems, we're gonna use this guy. It's a little bit bigger. Only because I'm gonna use this guy right here to try to straighten up the fender. Again, I am not restoring this thing. We're just trying to get some of the dents out and make it look a little better. I will get the hammer and dolly and try to straighten these out a little bit. But the big parts like this, where it's totally dented and just rolled up on, we're just gonna straighten it up a little bit. The main thing we want to try to do is get this bed just a little square. We don't have to make it perfect, but I need to figure out where it is. This guy right here, I've got to get up. It drops down, like I showed you guys before, right at about this seam right here, it drops down. So I got to try to get it up. I've tried jacking it up with the jack. All it does is lift the back of the truck. It doesn't bend it. So I've got to try to get that. We'll try to get creative. See if we can get it a little better. I already did a little bit of work on this bedside. I've got to get the hammer and dolly and straighten it out here, but I used the big pipe wrench, straightened up. This had a loop there. You can see it still does kind of move in a little bit right here. We'll try to get it a little bit more, but it is considerably better. We're going to do the same thing to this side. This side, actually the top of the bedside, is actually in better shape than what the other one is. Uh-oh. Looks like our carburetor's here. Ah, another box, a box in a box. Let's see what it says. Kohler K321. That's what it's for. Kohler K321. All right. Oh yeah. Let's see if it looks like the old one. Looks as though it looks like the old one minus a whole bunch of rust and stuff. Even down to the same. Looks pretty similar. Looks pretty similar to the old one. The bowl looks to be in place. Yeah, that's awesome. Okay, I got the carb mounted, all mounted up, and I did some caveman body work. And you can see it's no longer dented down the side. It is not as as crooked. It's still crooked, but it's not as bad. The bed sides are like a little bit more than a ½ inch lower on this side than it is on this side, but it could be that these guys aren't at the same angle as that. We're pretty close. I may or may not have bent a jack handle while I was repairing this. So what had happened is I had this, I got such a mess. This 4x4 right there. This, let me show you. This jack handle right there. And then I proceeded to climb in the back of the bed, hold on to the roof of the cab, and jump on this until this happened. Although this did give way somewhat, you can see the clear thing is by how much easier the tailgate opens and closes. Before it was bound up. And I'm still a little off, but look, my tailgate is in the right spot because you see that, where that clamps and where that clamps, they're almost the same. So it's just still a little tweaked on the bottom. And I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it. I traded mini trail parts for this thing. So I'm not trying to win shows with this thing. I will have to put a couple of sheet metal screws in here. I've got to close my gap right here, either that way or the other way. It'll probably come from this side to the fenders is what I'll do. I'll do it on both sides just to shore it up. I may or may not repair some of this. I mean, let's get the thing running. Let's ride it. Let's drive it around, and then let's decide if we're going to repair that. But just looking down the side, it is no longer whopped. I do need to beat this little bit down right here just to straighten it up a little bit, but at least the bed sides were, this whole bed side was crumpled. You can probably see it better from this side where it was, right in here, which we're much straighter now. Again, I am not a bodywork specialist, by all means. Caveman auto body repair. That's what I did. Just walloped on it until it looked better. That's kind of where we are. And I feel pretty good about what we're doing. We made great strides in this episode. We got the ignition switch installed. We got the lights to work. We have spark. We freed up the engine, the valve. You saw that at the beginning. We put the carburetor on, waiting for the starter, which has shipped. So once we get that, we'll put this sucker together and we'll, fingers crossed, we'll see what happens. So guys, let me know. What do you think we should do with this guy? What color should we paint it? I'm open to suggestions. It can't get any worse than what it is, right? At least it's not flaking off anymore. We will do something to repair these holes, but I'm not going to go crazy. We may put some Flex Seal, on it and keep the water out. It's going to live indoors, so I don't have to worry about it. If we can just keep it to where if we happen to be riding it around, if it rains, we don't get wet. That's kind of all we're concerned about. So guys, I want to thank you for watching yet another episode of Motorcycle Rewind. And do me a favor, like, tag, share, and follow us on Instagram at Motorcycle Rewind. And go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Thanks again, guys, and have a great day.